Sports proudly present the LMBA, Lower Mainland Baseball Association from Winskill Park. Tonight's matchup, the Newton Royals versus the hometown favorites, Delta Tigers. Hi everybody, welcome to Winskill Park. Beautiful night for ball. Myself, Derek McGowan. Derek, we're going to have a great game tonight. We got two teams that are only 4 points separating the top and the third place team. Interesting stats.
Yeah, no, definitely. Newton has always played Delta very tight. Delta's 6-4-3 career against the Newton Royals. And the thing about Newton is they have a lot of really good pitching. So we're going to see, could be a low-scoring game tonight, but we'll see if the bats come out as well. All
right, we're going to turn our attention to field level right now and let the game begin. And we're underway.
Okay.
All right, here the umpire. We actually have the luxury of having the umpire mic tonight, which is really unique and a nice little added bonus for us.
Yeah, definitely. We can kind of hear a little bit of the kind of the chitter chatter that goes on between the catcher and the umpire, which happens a lot, and kind of a little bit of a different perspective on the game.
Okay, so Newton up to bat first. Call the Newton Royals. So the umpire call him in. And they're calling ball. You know who the umpires are tonight?
Yeah, we got Jerry Tagaskis doing home plate. We got Al Lexier on first base, and I apologize to the gentleman doing third base tonight. I don't know his name, but definitely a familiar face.
We'll get his name from the commissioner. I know we'll find Dan. Had a chance to talk to Dan, but we'll locate where Dan is and get him. In there, called strike by the umpire.
1-2 now to the batter. Cunningham getting ahead, using his slider there.
Cunningham's pitching for the Tigers tonight. In there, tag, foul. Just down the third base line.
Boy, the Newton Royals are definitely up for this televised game tonight, Steve.
They are. They want to swing the bats early. We talked about the power coming off the bats, and they want to play it very well. All right, calls him back in. As you mentioned, Cunningham's pitching. Wilkins is catching.
Cunningham, 2 wins and a loss on the year, 2.25 ERA. Likes to keep the ball down in the zone.
In the high hit. Called for. Cunningham's calling for it. Move back. The Sunman's in the eye, but gets it.
Yeah, it's a tough play for a pitcher there.
Didn't have to move very much, so you could just tell by the wind. There wasn't much of a wind because he basically just stepped off the mound and a couple feet and he got it.
Yep.
1 away. Next batter up, we've got number 18.
So Wes Sitko.
Wes Sitko is up to bat, and Wes plays first base. Foul going out for the third base, third field line. Going back up in. So going into a game like this, Cunningham knows what he has to do. So what's a pitcher have to focus on when he looks at a game?
Well, definitely the key thing for any pitcher is getting ahead in the count. You can see that Jordy's been doing here. What it allows you to do is allows pitcher to use all his pitches. So if a guy has a good slider or a sinker, he wants to use that when he's ahead. You see Jordy's gotten ahead here, 0-2.
0-2 going down the third base line. Good pickup. That was by Small as he throws it over to Grant Wilkins. Called him safe at first.
Yeah, the one hopper from Small there at third base.
Well, he was ahead on the count at first. He had it 2-0, and then they managed to put it down to third. And you said about the importance of staying ahead of it.
Yeah, Jordy does a great job of it too.
So Gavin Sand up to bat right now. Runner at first. Cunningham turns, throws it, keeps him back at first, at least relatively respectable at first.
Yeah, we've known Gowan for many years, him growing up in Newton and us in Ladner, and about 3 or 4 years ago, actually, Jordy and Gavin squared off in a pitching duel. They each threw, I think it was 11 innings, and some 160 pitches later it ended. So.
And who come out victorious?
They actually won the game. I think it was 4-3, and I think it was, like I said, 11 innings.
Something that you don't talk about too much.
No.
But you know, despite the fact that it didn't go in Delta's favor, the key for that, it was a good game and everybody was entertained.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All right, we're looking. Sitko's still at first. Sand is up to bat, looks, waits in there. Low. That got him. Two down. Swinging. 2 down, 1 still at first.
You got Joe PITRE coming up here.
Now, with a name like Joe PITRE, there are other family members that are involved in sports, because that's a pretty synonymous name with the Newton-Cloverdale area.
Yes, it is. I believe he does have some siblings that play as well.
And there, good stance. PITRE looks, called, ball outside. Nice when you can hear the umpire make the calls.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know the thing I like about this versus sports, like ice hockey? When you ask the umpires here to do it, they're very gracious. I said, sure, not a problem.
Yeah.
Ask them in ice hockey, it's like you got to, give them your firstborn before they're going to wear it.
Definitely.
No, this is great. This is good. Nice. And it adds to the broadcast as well, for everybody listening at home.
Yeah, you see it a lot. I mean, even in, some sports, they have the athletes mic'd up, too, in football.
And their long tag all the way out center field. Going after it is Martinson, and he picks it up. Rounding third is Sitko. And he stops, tags up, so Sit goes down, 2 out.
That was a nice piece of hitting by Joe there. It's like the pitch was on the outer half of the plate. He got around in front of it and hit into the gap in right center. So going to move Wes Sitko over to third, and PITRE's standing on first.
No, they had a pinch runner going in.
Yeah, what this is, Steve, is in this league with 2 out, if the catcher gets on base, they put in the last out goes in for him, so it helps to speed the game up a little bit. So Gavin being the last out comes in a run.
Oh, I can see that. Little hopper, nice over to LADOUCEUR, and he picks it up. Looks, they're going into third. Is he going to make it at third? Yeah, it goes in, stands up at third. And that's actually a smart move, because when you do that, it just keeps the game going, and it saves, for any unnecessary time being taken to dress the catcher.
Yeah.
No, smart move.
Yeah, the LMBA does feature a few different rules compared to some of the other leagues.
So do we have a run score there? Because I was just not watching the diamond.
Yeah, Wes Sitko came in to score.
So we got a 1-0 game right now for Newton Royals.
Blair Crockett's up.
Gavin Sand. We got runners in the corner right now. So this is predominantly the the Tigers. I'm used to the Dodgers because we're here all the time and used to play with the Dodgers.
That's right.
But this is their home diamond all the time.
Yeah, this is where we play. Majority of the players grew up in the Ladner, Tawasin area, and most of us Tigers have actually played together. Some of us for 20 years actually. So it's nice to still be playing ball with the guys.
It is. It's a nice feeling when you can still get along with everybody like that and work and play together. That's good. In there, tag going out. Nice little pickup. Looks. Taylor goes after it, picks it up, throws it at the first. They got him at first, and that throws it out. That retires the side. Now we're going to have a chance earlier on. We talked to Mr. Dan Taylor, the commissioner, so let's listen to what the commissioner had to tell us about the league. Dan, big night for ball, but you've got 3 different divisions. This is a nice league.
The league consists of 28 teams. There's 3 divisions, the 18 and over with 16 teams, 30 and over 6 teams, and a 45 and over 6 teams.
Distance traveled, is it a lot for the boys?
We have teams all the way from Tawasin out to Chilliwack and over to West Vancouver.
What about funding? Who funds the league?
The teams themselves fund the league through league fees, and that helps with the administration of the league.
Now, you tell me this is the largest recreational league in Canada?
It is the largest recreational baseball league in Canada, yes.
Where did it start and how did it start?
It started in 1994. An American group came up here, tried to get us organized, fumbled the ball, and another gentleman and I took over, and 15 years later, here we are.
We are in the Bob Bennett division watching tonight?
Yes. The division is named after Bob Bennett, a longtime Delta coach. And actually, Bob, I believe, coached many of the players on the Tigers tonight.
If it involved the ball, Bob did all of it.
He did. Yep.
That's the big part. Now, okay, the boys that play from here, we've had a lot of boys from the Lower Mainland area advance. They go on to the pro career. Francis, Morneau, just to name 2 of them. What about players coming out of here?
Players coming out of here, a lot of the players that are currently playing in the league did play with Justin Morneau and Francis on their way up. We have college players from UBC, from American colleges, AAA programs, and basically just about every other minor group has some sort of representation in the league.
Yeah, Dan, you got a great league here and a good product, so keep it going and give everybody a place to play.
Thanks very much. And can I present you with a...
Good buddy Dan Taylor from the commissioner for the league, and nice to see Dan. I was talking to Dan earlier on, and interesting to note that Dan still referees ice hockey over in Burnaby Rinks.
Wow.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, Dan has done a heck of a lot for baseball at the LMBA. He's often at every single park every Sunday watching games and taking care of league business. So he's definitely a huge asset to us.
That's okay. That's very, very important is what they do. The commissioners, they're very seldom get any recognition, but in the world of sport, that's what it's all about. Mike Martinson's up to bat for the Tigers. In there, called strike, first pitch, and of course Martinson plays center field. Started out playing center field tonight.
Yeah, Mike, another former Delta Dodger, played some university ball at UBC, had a successful stint there.
In there, 2 strikes. That was low. Two 2-0 the count to Martinson. So who's pitching for Newton?
On the hill tonight, we got Goulet throwing. So he's got a fastball and a slider. Again, there you can see trying to get ahead of Martinson and go with his out pitches, as we say in the game, is slider and so on. So he's going to try and keep the ball away from Mike here, not really give him anything to hit, being ahead in the count.
In there high. Count should be 2-2.
Yep. Mike hitting .355 this year. Since he came back, Mike often lives half the year in Australia, actually. So he comes back and sees the family and plays ball.
In there, full count. Talk about ball down in Australia. What's the ball program like for the guys down there? Because I know what it's like for the women's fast pitch. What's it like for the guys program?
It's quite big, and they actually have a traveling team coming up to play some games against the Langley Blaze in the BC Premier League.
Long bomb going all the way out. Is that gone? Indeed,
yes,
that's over the fence. Going from a full count, 3-2. Martinson just tags that thing.
Wow, that's Mike's second home run of the year, and that gives him 10 for his career as a Delta Tiger. So he's joined the 10 home run club for Delta.
No mercy on that power swing at all. He just tagged that like there's no tomorrow. Does he do that often?
Yeah, he does actually. He hit a long home
let's
run.
take a look at the replay on this because, man, he just hammered that thing. In swing, man, you can just see the power going into that bat.
Yeah, I'm sure Goulet would like to have that pitch back. He really kind of left it on the inner half of the plate, and Mike was able to get his bat head through quickly and really drive it.
And there, called ball. Who's our batter up now?
We got Skip up here. We got Tim Wilkins. Tim hitting .377 this year so far.
And Tim is the catcher in the game tonight. Started out catching.
Tim is a catcher, and Tim also runs our team. Puts a lot of time in organizing stuff. So
takes a lot of time. It's one of the brothers. One of the brothers.
One of the 3 Wilkins brothers. That's right. Tim chases one there.
He'd like to have that over. You talk about having the pitch over. Goulet let go, but Wilkins would like to have that one back. Some get away from you, some don't.
Yeah, usually with 2 strikes, the key for the hitter is trying to protect the plate. So anything close, he's just got to try and get his bat on it.
Goulet looks, sets. He's getting the...
Yeah, I got Adam LADOUCEUR up here. Adam plays for the Dickinson State Bluehawks in North Dakota.
Played for the Dodgers, didn't he?
And he did play for the Dodgers.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
it's a familiar name.
Adam's a great ball player. His team was ranked 18th in the country last year in NAIA.
And that NAIA is a good league.
Excellent. Yeah, they won their conference back-to-back the last 2 years, and unfortunately lost out in the regionals this year in Sioux City, Iowa.
In there, ooh, that tagged him.
But it's nice to have Adam back. He usually comes back in May and plays for us for the rest of the year. So,
when does the season start and when does the season end? For the league in general, not necessarily the team, because it depends on how you start and how you finish.
Yeah, the league gets started in usually about the 2nd or 3rd week of April. And regular season goes till the end of August, and then the first 3 weeks in September is our playoffs.
That's down. That's 2 out.
So the league does stretch out. We play once a week, usually a 9-inning game every Sunday. But this year we've been fortunate to play a lot of midweek games as well, whether it be exhibition, league, or makeup. So get a little bit of extra baseball and get all the innings in for the pitchers.
And REID WILDEMAN's up.
Yeah, REID had a couple of huge blasts last game. Hit one, it's probably still rolling down towards Point Roberts there at this point.
He's a big boy. He's 6'6", 225 pounds.
REID can swing it.
In there, boy, he was swinging at that one.
REID, another one of the another UBC product. He pitched and played a little first base for them as well. So.
Well, the tallest two in the team are him and Tim Wilkins. Wilkins is 6'3".
Yeah.
In there, that's a tag up. That's okay, it's going by our cameraman.
Yeah.
We're fine. Missed the truck, thank heavens, yes. Give Kevin a headache in the truck, and Alexis, they were going, ouch, I heard that.
REID's on a 15-game hitting streak right now, so he's looking to extend that. He's hitting .563.
Now, you know what you're going to do by saying that, don't you? You're going to jinx the poor guy, and he's going to come over here after he listens to this, and he's going to smack you in the side of the coconut and say, what were you doing?
Well, poor Jordy Cunningham, he had his hit streak broken last game. I think he was up around 11 or 12 games, so yeah, the team is, sometimes we say it's a little stats driven, so guys are always aware of their streaks, their averages. And
yeah, but you could blame that on the weather or
I guess you
anything.
could, yeah.
There's got to be something you could blame it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Not us.
No, not us.
Oh, swing.
Goulet really settling down after that home run to Martinson there.
Well, he let the first one get by him, and he just really settled himself down now. So, you know, a couple of, first inning under their belt, so to speak, for the pitchers.
Yeah.
Good game. They played well, and we got a 1-1 game right now, and that's a good way to start it out.
Definitely.
Started fast, and that's what we wanted. We talked about Tim Wilkins earlier on. We had a chance to talk to Timmy about the team and what they're doing. So let's listen to what Tim had to tell us.
You're up by 4 points. Big game tonight for the boys.
Yeah. We just got to make 27 outs. Can't give them any extra outs. That's the key to the game, really. They hit the ball well. We've been really hitting the ball well and throwing well, and things are going good for us right now. We're getting on a roll. So as far as this game goes, I think it should be a good game. They've always played us tough. I think even this year it was a really close game. So
got a healthy squad going into the game?
Yeah, we're healthy. We're missing a few guys. Obviously, we got a big roster, but we got 11 here. We got most of our strong guys are here for sure.
Who's starting pitcher?
Jordy Cunningham starting pitcher. He's had a really good year. He hasn't thrown in about a month, but he should be ready to go.
So any three main keys that you've got to do to overtake them?
Well, don't boot the ball around the field. Get the timely hit, and have some fun, I guess.
Good man. Okay, well, have a good game. Talk to you later. Thanks, Dave.
Good words from Timmy. He had to tell us about what he wants the boys to do tonight. And, of course, with him doing double duties like that, besides coaching, playing, catching right there, that's got to be a lot of extra work that he really doesn't need the headache for.
No, not at all. It's I know sometimes he gets a little frustrated, but his time and his commitment is definitely appreciated. I mean, from going to league meetings and sending emails and doing the roster and the changes during the game, it all adds up, and let alone that, going to having a catch back there for 9 innings.
And there, called strike. First batter up. Did we get a number for him?
I believe this is
number 8, we are told. Number
Matt
8
White
is up to bat. Mr. Matt White. And there, ball 1-1 the count. We've seen many a good ball player come out of our area in the last while, and of course some of them synonymous that we're familiar with in Delta. Justin Morneau, Jeff Francis. Just to name 2, long tag all the way out to center field. Going after that one is Martinson. He easily saunters into that one. Just trips that one all the way into Mr. Taylor and gives her back over. Yeah, good player. We've got a good product in the area, but the sad part about the whole thing is I don't think there's a lot of people promoted to the fact that they come out. You got a good turnout, I mean, for the most part. But there's not a lot of people hear about the league, which is sad.
Yeah, no, it is, and I think that we're kind of seeing a little bit of a resurgence in baseball, and certainly guys like Morneau and Francis and Russ Martin, the catcher for the LA Dodgers. I think it's kind of like in hockey. You have people to look up to. People you want to aspire to be.
Nice hit. Kirkley hits that one all the way out. Sweeney grabs it, throws it in.
I mean, you're going to start actually a young gentleman here out of Tawasin, Kyle Lotzgar, actually who I coached for 4 years, just got drafted by the Cincinnati Reds, 53rd overall. And there's a lot more of these other local kids that are getting drafted. So the coaching is getting better, playing year-round is getting better, and certainly it's all about exposure and going to showcase tournaments down in the States and all throughout you know, the lower mainland and stuff like that is what's really getting these kids going.
You know, one thing I really think that a lot of people fail to remember is it got started off by two people that I know of, personal. One is Larry Walker, who's from Maple Ridge, or Ridge Meadows, as some people out there like to call it. And the other one who pitched with the LA Dodgers and Texas Rangers is Stevie Wilson. Yeah, no, definitely. And I think when you look at like I said, we played with guys like Morneau and Francis, kind of that 90s era when guys like Walker were kind of coming through, really got the baseball interest going. And that's a big key right there, is get somebody to take the ball, no pun intended, start with it, carry it, and keep on going. And the other thing is that both of those guys, like both that I mentioned, Walker as well as Wilson, both of them are good ambassadors for not only the sport, but for our area of the country. And definitely, give him a lot of right. It's exactly like Steve Nash in basketball. Very much so, you know, Steve just an outstanding person as well as a basketball player. And you see the youth leagues and stuff really picking up, you know, because of supporters like him. Well, you look at what they've done. You look at other guys that come back. He just recently bought a place over in Victoria, David Foster. Yeah. Said he loves BC. He said, you know, despite the fact that he's got houses and he's, you know, had mega hits, you know, he's not gonna let that take anything away from him. No. He wants to still come back to BC. That's a big plus for us. Yeah, no, it definitely is, showing they remember their roots and where they came from, and the people that helped them get to where they are now. So. It's all called respect, it's called pride, and it's having an awful lot of dedication and desire to advance something that you're very passionate about. Definitely. And there gets set. Oh, long tag all the way out. Pitch there. It was past LADOUCEUR all the way out. Sweeney picks it up. Takes his time, lobs that one back in to Mr. Small. Got runners in first and second right now. Still got a tie game at 1. Top of the second. It's going to bring up, going to bring up Wes Sitko again, number 2 hitter. Wes plays first base. At least he started off playing first base tonight. Yeah. Watch the back door. Wes is hitting .290 this year. In there, long tag all the way out to Sweeney. Is he going to get himself underneath it? Yes, he does. He grabs it. It's going to retire the side. That will. Nice little grab, and Sweeney didn't have to do much movement to get a hold of that one. Now, we talk about the league. We talked earlier on to Dan, Mr. Taylor, about the 3 different divisions. This is the Bob Bennett division. Yes. And I think it's only appropriate that we make mention that Bob Bennett was just recently inducted into the Delta Sports Hall of Fame. Yes, he was. And Mr. Bennett lived up in North Delta. Lovely wife, Yvonne. I worked with Yvonne over at Sun God Arena for years and years. And, and the whole family, very nice. And if there's somebody that had a lot of dedication and passion towards the game, Mr. Bennett was one of those individuals. Bob was outstanding, and I actually had a chance to play for Bob a little bit. He had a team in this LMBA when we first started called the Delta Orioles, and through him and stuff is how a lot of us got started into this league once we graduated from the junior program. And Bob was just a passionate guy about baseball and a passionate guy about life in general. And his wife was great as well. Yvonne, we know her as well. You know, there's one thing that a lot of people fail to remember is you can have those individuals that are so dedicated, so passionate, and they give up a lot of times. The one group of individuals that I really commend are their families. Yeah. Because there's so much time. I mean, I don't know how many times that I've gone to a ball diamond and seen Bob, or gone to different events and seen different other people. And it's normally the same group over and over and over that are involved. And like, Mr. Bennett's family were the ones that stood behind him and said, yep, that's fine, you know, go ahead, do your thing and have fun, because he was so dedicated to the sport. And they fell in love with not only what Bob was about, but what he was, you know, stood for. Yeah, no, it definitely takes up a lot of time. I say I coached for 4 years, and you're going 5 or 6 days a week. It really takes up a lot of time. Indeed, long, little bit of a tag going out. Nice hit. So he just lobbed that one all the way over to first, gets that out, and that retires it. Nice play by Kirkley there, fielding the ball cleanly and throwing it over to Sitko. Sweeney going after the first pitch there, a strategy that some hitters like, figuring that the pitcher's going to try and get ahead, so they figure he's going to try and cork one right down the middle of the plate there. Sweeney also on a hit streak. He's hit safely in the last 10 games, so he'll be looking to redeem himself next time up. And Cunningham's up to bat. Jordy Cunningham pitching tonight. It's nice when you can have athletes that can excel in different sports.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordy also a hockey player, as many of the Tigers are as well.
Well, they give to the community. They give back to the community. They don't just, you know, it's not like a take, and it's not a me syndrome. It's like give something back into the community, which is great.
All right, count 1-1 there.
1-1.
Looks like he's going to try and keep the ball
just heard
away.
you. Just wanted to make sure we knew what was going on.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That was going, I think, at the ferry terminal.
Yeah. That's
going somewhere.
That's on the Queen of New Westminster as we speak right now. Goulet kind of chuckling to himself there.
Is he ever? He's going, where was I putting that thing?
Yeah.
I know you called it high to the outside. We didn't say high above the fence.
Oh, gee.
Ah, well, shake it off. You're allowed one of those a game. I think everybody does it. You watch them in the pros. And they're called strike. Now, where does the Newton team, where do they play out of?
They play at Unwin Park, which is
located
up.
Where?
That's just off of 64th, I believe 66th and about 132nd up in Newton. So a couple teams play out of that park.
Sullivan Park, is that too small for the league?
Yeah, Sullivan's more of a softball facility there on
and that's a
152nd.
facility for minor sports too.
Yeah.
And then that puts our runner down at first. Cunningham goes down at first, takes his time. Up to bat right now, we've got number 5, James Taylor. Who have we got pitching right now? You can tell me.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually Brandon Ellison.
Uh-oh.
I apologize. And manager Don Sitko is going to have to work on his penmanship there. I'll have to get after him after the game there.
They played ball. They didn't learn how to write. Can't do two things at once. My mother used to tell me that.
Yeah.
Only when I come upstairs empty-handed. Don't you know how to carry stuff upstairs?
Yeah, exactly. No,
2 down.
Yeah, 2-0 to Taylor with Cunningham at first base. Taylor's been hot of late as well. He's been taking a really good approach to the plate, trying to take the ball the other way. We'll see what he can do here with Cunningham on first.
You were talking about our pitcher, Johannesson from Surrey, 170 pounds.
Yeah, he's, I guess you'd say in the game, he's pretty wiry. He uses his legs really well and has a real good whip motion on his arm. He's definitely bringing it pretty good.
Well, that's an art that they have to perfect. You can't just stand up there and throw the ball in and expect every pitch to go straight across. You have to work at that. And the pitchers that are the better pitchers, they really work at that. It's like goaltending for ice hockey. In there, a long tag as the paperwork flew away behind us, going out past
Crockett with the error there.
Gonna tag him with an error on that one?
Yeah, definitely error credit to the shortstop there.
So we got runners at first and second. I think the paper's a little bit too far behind you, but you can go get it if you want to. It's called wind. Something that we can't control is the elements. Up to bat right now, Gavin Sand. Nope, correction, number 17. We're looking.
I got Phil Deeks up here.
Yeah, Phil Deeks, 17, is with the Newton Royals. Phil Deeks is up.
Phil hitting .324 this year.
In there, that's fouled. Hit that foul, actually looked at his bat after he hit it.
Yeah,
thought it might have cracked.
That's not the bat's fault, Phil.
No. But you can blame it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
Phil's
right.
been an original Tiger. He's been with the team all 7 years, and Phil's a great guy.
And then that's a ball. No mascot. I've been looking around to see Tony come out here in a little while, but I haven't seen Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil actually came back from knee surgery last year. Unfortunately,
have it scoped?
Yeah, he had a torn meniscus actually. Well, a couple summers ago, he was taking a swing up at Wally there, and unfortunately hurt his knee pop. And last year he had it scoped and worked on, and it's great to see Phil back here playing again.
How did the rehab go for him?
It went really well.
Long? Did he find it long or not long enough, or did it just
I think
right?
I think he found it just right. I think the wait time to actually get in and have the surgery done was the most frustrating thing for him.
You've got to work it right when you come back off of knee surgery. It doesn't matter whether it's cartilage or meniscus or whatever it is. You've got to just take your time, make sure that everything works well.
Oh, definitely.
If you push it too hard, you're going to injure it. You re-injure it.
I think it's the problem with a lot of athletes. They figure they're healed up and they come back too early and just end up getting hurt again.
That's because you're frustrated and you want to get back into the sport, and you don't believe the fact that you're out for a little bit of time. It's almost like athletes. We all seem to think we're invincible.
Yeah, that's true.
In there, full count in there. Ball 4. That takes him, puts him down there.
Good eye by Phil there.
Bases loaded. Now this will be an interesting turn of events right now. Game's tied at 1. Bases loaded.
Yeah.
Up to bat right now.
Grant Wilkins, another one of the Wilkins boys.
I wouldn't want to feed these boys.
No, actually, Phil's actually the one that got our team started back in 2000, 2001 there, and he's done a great job of helping out as well.
How did he get us started? Just come up and said, "Hey guys, I got an idea. Let's take the ball and run with it."
Yeah, well, again, he knew Bob Bennett as well, and we'd seen what was happening in the league, and many of us players that are still here today were finishing up our last year of junior ball with the Delta Dodgers, and wanted a place to play, and it was a perfect opportunity for us, and here we are still 7 years later going at it strong.
So it's like an overage junior A-League.
Yeah, basically it's 18 to 30. You can be over the age of 30 to play in the league, but nobody from the 30 and over league can play down in this league. That's kind of how it works.
Well, that's only fair.
Yeah, so when we started, many of us were in our early 20s. Now guys kind of getting up there, and fortunately we've had a good influx of young players come onto the team, guys like James Taylor and Adam LADOUCEUR, Chris Small. So that really helps keep the team going. You see a lot of teams that come into the league and they play 3 or 4 years, and then they're not there anymore.
So they got him on that one, eh?
Yeah, Wilkins goes down. Brings up Chris Small, the third baseman.
Yeah, well, he had heat on that one.
Yep. Well, looks like manager Sitko's coming out.
Gonna go out and talk to him?
Yeah.
He's got to come out and tell him, okay, he's either going to tell him to settle it down, get a little more composed, or he sees something with the batter that he's working on.
Yeah, again, he's probably telling him he's got to get ahead in the count, and got to get ahead to get the ball over the plate, and then be able to use your other pitches.
So we still got a 1-1 game.
Yep.
Bases loaded right now. We've got a possibility of, well, we could have 4 coming in, depending on how hard and heavy he wants to hit this thing.
Yeah, Chris just joined us about a month ago. Played his baseball over in Nanaimo, and he's been a really nice addition for us. He relieves Wilkins of his catching duties now and then, and a very versatile player.
In there, call strike.
1-2.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what manager Sitko wanted him to do. He's now ahead 1-2, and probably look to throw a breaking pitch, I'd say here. Well, he comes to the fastball.
In there, long hit going all the way out. Oh, past the shortstop, that drops in. We scored 2 runs going in. Does he get it? Yes, he slides. He's safe at home. That scores 2. And we got runners still at first and second, so that puts the Tigers up by a score of 3-1 right now.
Yep.
Nice, good run, and that one just dropped in. It was almost like the shortstop in this case, and I'm trying to find my notes to see who the shortstop is. That's OlynYk.
Yep.
Looked like OlynYk just let it, played it a little bit lackluster. He didn't go back, and he just appeared that it was going to get it, but then it got caught. I won't say there was too much wind, but it looked like I got caught and dropped in behind him.
Well, it's a communication thing, too. They fall into those Bermuda triangles, as they say, so there's got to be communication. Playing left field here, I can attest to, is not that easy with this sun beaming down on you.
2 down.
No, but it's better than the rain beaming down on you.
Yeah, like it was on Sunday when we played here.
Ball.
In there, ball. Again.
And Martinson
runners on
back up.
first and second.
Martinson, who hit the big home run to lead off the last half of the first inning there.
Take a look. Here's the replay on the drop, how it just dropped in behind him. He picked it up.
Ball.
Nice little top, throws it back in. But that was just, as we mentioned, it was just dropped in right behind him.
Looks like there's a little hesitation on the part of the left fielder there.
He who hesitates is lost, and that was a prime example right there. Martinson's up to bat right now. Looks, big throw in there, tags that one. Runners are moving, going out. They're going to get him at second. Yeah, they got him. No, he dropped it at second. They all hold. Thought he was going to make the motion towards, but he grabbed the base. And the umpire said he dropped the ball, which he did. I mean, that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, base is loaded back up, and have another important thing, and no matter where he hit the ball, you got to run out every hit hard, because you never know what's going to be
There
dropped.
was a prime example where he was in a hurry. He overreacted because he anticipated the fact that he had them on the first one, and he didn't. He was just in too much of a hurry. Tried to grab the base and dropped it. Watch this, how he goes in. Watch this. He goes in. He's anticipating too quick.
Yeah.
Right there. He was in a hurry.
He was thinking about picking the ball. He was thinking about tossing the ball to the second baseman or the first baseman way before he had the ball in his glove.
That's exactly right. I think he was looking at that play and reading, because it looked like his head was up and he was going to get ready to aim for first, so he was thinking of something that he shouldn't have been.
Kind of like the receiver in football that's trying to run up the field before the ball's in his hands.
I was going to say it'd be like me thinking my wife's going to feed me when I go home, and if I go home and I haven't eaten, she'd say, well, I'll go back out and go get something.
Yeah. Turn the stove on and make it yourself.
In there. Can't complain. She's back home.
Oh, that's good.
2-1.
She's been out of town. I have to say hi to her because her daughter had another baby, so now she's a grandma again, so she's happy.
Great.
Little baby this time. It was only like 5 pounds something there.
Wow.
It was like a tiny. Mind you, babies are tiny anyway.
Yeah.
Not like they're born and they're 17 pounds.
My son,
a swing.
And my son was 6 pounds 4 ounces. He's sitting over there getting fed by my wife and my mother over there. So
it's okay. That's important.
Hey,
that's important.
Get him started early. Getting him around the ball field.
Have you got him a glove yet?
No, but he is kind of tossing some soft balls around already, and he's only 10 months old. So
it's okay. As long as it's you and not Mom, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens.
Mom will tell you.